Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Alpha Life. Now you may be able to see that we are currently in a mining barge, but you might ask yourself, yes, I am still Alpha and we used a nice nifty little trick to be able to fly a mining barge for this very special episode. Right now we are currently going to the market, so let's quickly go ahead, get over there and talk about how we have been doing. Now that we are promptly getting to the markets, let's actually see where it's going to be better to sell our compressed dense Bellspar. And apparently it is actually indeed going to be in the Dixie. So that is really good because that was our target all along. So let's talk really quickly about what is going on here. For anyone that didn't see the last episode, go check it out. It is in my channel. Remember, in the 0 to billion series. If you want to also check out the other videos, I think that you will find them quite entertaining and instructional. So, how exactly are we doing this? Well, the thing is that yes, we are indeed still alpha status, but we have something special right here. We have an expert system right here, which is actually going to allow us to use skills for a limited amount of time. What does that mean? Let's quickly go to the new Eden store to check that out, because I think that it is a strategy worth considering. Of course, I didn't min-max this strategy at all, not even a little bit, and you can definitely get a little bit more juice out of it. So let's run some quick numbers right now, and I'm going to write this stuff down because I am terrible at using the in-game calculator. Let's quickly go over to services right here, and then we are going to go all the way down, and you will actually see mining barge operations expert system 15 plex. Now, for 15 plex, you can actually get quite a lot of stuff. If you look at the store properly, you could get some very nice things like some hypercores, but that is luck based, and I don't like that. And we have been mining for this series, so for this booster episode, for this extra episode, I wanted to make it a little bit extra special and see what this opportunity would allow us to do, considering that someone in the comments very nicely left this as an option. Thank you very much. I do not remember who it was, but shout out to you, sir. Definitely thank you for helping me make another episode. Remember, guys, if you want me to do a specific episode about something, do let me know in the description below. So, for 15 plex that we are going to have, so 15 plex, we bought for around 80 million ISK. Let's write that down to 80 million ISK. Now, the thing is that the mining barge itself, we also got a little bit expensive. So, for example, we have spent 167 million just on the last 30 days. So, from 167 million, you will guess that the mining barge itself also did cost around 80 million. So, let's do 167 minus 80 million is going to leave us with 87 million. Of course, that doesn't consider some other expenses that we have been having. For example, the mining venture, the gas huffing venture that we lost in a wormhole, and I bought another one for 11 million ISK and stuff like that. So I bought this entire feed, which I'm gonna leave in the description below. I bought this entire feed so for around 60 to 70 million ISK. Your ISK may vary, and you may get better prices if you actually buy it in another market. I bought it right here in the market of the Dixie. I bought it all from sell orders instead of trying to get some buy orders, which means that, of course, I bought it at a higher price. But, well, I wanted to get it as fast as possible to be able to get this episode to you guys. That was my main approach here, just doing the episode as fast as possible. And that also means that if you do this yourself, you will be able to get better results than what I have been getting. So let's get some mining barge written down. Miner for, I'm gonna put 70 million right here. Now, we made some numbers on the last episode. For 2.5 hours, we mined 10 million ISK, meaning that for 20 hours, which is what we have been doing this week, yes, it's been a very grueling week, but we have mined for 20 hours this week, and for this week, we should have at least 80 million ISK, no problem. and we are going to get to that in a moment. First, let's just check our fitting so that you guys can see what it actually looks like. 68 million ISK. As you can see, I'm gonna simulate it just to remove the stuff from the cargo hold, and I cannot remove the stuff from the mining hold. Well, it is what it is. So for around 70 million ISK, what are you going to get? Again, I'm gonna leave this fit in the description below. You're gonna get two medium core defense field extender ones and one medium EM shield reinforcer. Sorry, so that we can get that EM damage resistance a little bit higher, and so that we can actually tank a little bit, because these ships are actually worth ganking. They are worth 80 million, 70 million, so definitely worth mining, worth ganking. So now you're gonna have the gankers problem. Well, that's always going to happen to you eventually. If you get to enough resources, you're eventually going to get ganked in it, but you need to find ways to protect yourself. For example, we are protecting ourselves with 39,000 DHP, so that means a lot of catalysts, and since we are mining in high sec, they would have to consider getting destroyed, being blown up all by Concord. So yeah, they need to consider whether if their investment is going to be better than our expense of the ship. So that's a little bit some protection for us, the amount of ships that they are actually going to need versus what they can get from our ship. We also have in the top slot some strip miner ones. Why strip miner ones? Because we cannot use the strip miner twos. So you can see they are only for Omega, and they require some skills requirements. They require mining, deep core mining, and some astrology. So definitely skills we cannot get right now, we cannot get anytime soon, because they require Omega time. They require 45 days of Omega time, so that is quite a lot of time, quite an annoyance within itself. Now, let's move on to the mid slots at Tenement Afterburner 1. Why? Because it was the one that could fit and gave us a little bit of speed boost. Yes, these ships are extremely slow. They are extremely not agile at all. It is a little bit boring just waiting for it to warp on and warp off, especially since I am used to some fast warping ships. But, well, it is what it is. It is a miner, it's not made to warp fast, which means it is definitely going to be at risk if you are, for example, mining in low sec or mining in null sec or Triglavian space and stuff like that. Yes, you will get a lot better benefits, but you will also have a lot more problems because of that warp out time. As you can see, we have an align time of 21 seconds, 22 seconds if you round it out, which you should. So yeah, that means we're not running away from anyone. Now, how could we mitigate this? You guys know that we have some warp core stabilizers that we could use. However, if one ship is going to catch you and you're not going to be necessarily destroyed by one ship, there are probably going to be two, and now the warp core stabilizer doesn't get anything done because this doesn't have the bonuses to warp core stabilization that the Venture has. Let's see, capacitor targeting propulsion, no warp core stabilization bonus. So yeah, Ventures are going to be a lot harder to catch than this thing, so to keep that under consideration for low sec, null sec, and Triglavian space mining, I would consider it. Uh, if you have some good blues in your system that can actually back you up and destroy the targets before they destroy you, I think it's a really good idea. It mines quite a lot, it mines very fast, and it mines really heavy. It's really a nice ship. However, do take that under consideration. Do not go out on your own, especially to dangerous areas of space. Now, for the low slots, we only have 3 mining laser upgrades, 2. Why the 2s? Because they give us a little bit more ore. Yes, they do have a CPU penalty, but they do give us a 9% bonus each. So that is really good. Now, for the drones, we cannot use mining drones. Let me show you right here. No, medium mining drones. Let's see, mining drone 1. We cannot use mining drone. See requirements. We could train them if we were Omega, which we are not, and our special expert system does not give us this. So that's a little bit of a misplay on my part. I thought we could, but we didn't, and we didn't even buy them, so no extra expense over there. However, I do have a full flight of Hobgoblins. I didn't buy them, I just stole 2 from another adventure and then just looted some hobgoblins from the pirates that I was killing from the NPCs because well they have a chance of dropping hobgoblins. So if you do kill them, try to loot them, especially if you kill them nearby. Try to loot them. You may get your full flight of drones for free and some a little bit extra. Now, talking about that little bit extra, as you can see, bounty. We did get a little bit of bounties, almost 500,000 of bounties just by sitting in the belts, doing nothing with our drones out. They are auto aggro, so they will attack anyone that attacks us immediately, which is really nice. I really like that because that means I can pretty much mine while I work from home, which is the only way that I have been able to complete these 20 hours for this special episode for you guys. I really wanted to bring this out to you guys, especially considering that the expert system, while it's great, it does have a little bit of a problem. It only lasts for 7 days. Yes, it includes a lot of skills, 29 skills, which is really nice. Even ice harvesting, which can be really great if you get a nice site to do gas ice harvesting on. However, I haven't been looking for one, and I didn't think of bringing it into nullsec to search for some nice place to do some ice harvesting. So yeah, you do get some very nice skills. You do get amazing skills apparently, but you have to consider that it only lasts for 7 days. So within that 7 days week, you need that to mine at least 80 million to make up for the cost just of the skills. Instant skills, that's what they cost, 80 million. Just being able to get onto the ship, it's 80 million for the skills and around 70 million for the feat itself. So it is quite an expensive endeavor. And can you do it within a single week? Yes, you can, and we will demonstrate just that right now. Let me get this out of the way and open our inventory. So as you can see, we have a little bit of loot, really nothing interesting, some stuff I might use for other things. And as you guys may know, if you have been watching the series for a while, I like collecting tags, but the mining hold. Yes, 93 million is estimated price. That means we have theoretically made it. We have theoretically made the amount that we need for that 15 plex, plus a little extra. So within 7 weeks of doing this, the ship will be paid for, theoretically. But the thing is, that means 140 hours of mine. That is honestly quite a lot. I didn't think it was going to be that much time, but since actually doing it, because I thought my numbers were wrong the first time I tried to calculate how long it would actually take to pay for the mining barge and for the plex. Yes, it does take quite a lot of time. And considering very long mining weeks, 20 hours a week is barely enough to get you to pay for the plex and a little bit, 10% of the ship, 7% of the ship. So do take that under consideration. I don't think it's necessarily in your best interest unless you're on vacation or something like that, and you can guarantee, I don't know how you would guarantee if you're a full-fledged adult with responsibilities, but if you can guarantee a 40-hour week of mining, you will definitely see the worth of this enterprise and see the worth of the ship and make a lot better with it. And of course, the more time you put into it, the better it gets. However, I still consider that getting the Omega may be a little bit better while not necessarily mining, but it can actually get you closer to that mining barge to maybe even get the Tech 2. Because also, mining barges are not the only upgrade to mining. As we will see right here, mining barges are just the next step right after the venture. And while they are a very nice next step, they are a really powerful next step. They mine around 4 times as much and 4 times as fast as the venture. They mine really well, don't get me wrong, but they are not the only thing. However, they are the only thing that we can get right now. Maybe this will change in the future, but right now, with the bot skills, because there's no better way to put them, the expert systems are just bot skills for a period of time. With the bot skills, we can only use these three, and yes, they are not exactly cheap. This, I believe, is a Procurer, one of the cheaper ones. Yes, it is a Procurer, so it is the cheapest one. Yes, you could have gone for something more expensive like a Covertor or a Retriever. I didn't want to increase the budget and increase the time especially if we weren't going to get much else from the extra skills that apply mainly to Omega. So, why? Sorry, let me just explain really quickly why that is. Because as you can see right on top of here, mining barge bonuses per skill level: 3% strip miner, 2% as ice harvester, gas harvester, and 5% bonus to ship or hold capacity. That's per skill level. Right now, with our bot skills, we get level 3 in mining barge, so we still get two more levels. We get 6% more for mining strip yield and for our ore hold capacity. So going Omega already is going to give you a lot of extra stuff, and also you will be able to continue training your skills and stuff like that, and it does last for a month. However, it is a lot more expensive. We will make a quick comparison in a moment. Let me just get this part out of the way. If you go Omega and you keep on training and you keep doing stuff and you keep on getting that disc and you keep on training and you keep on training and you keep on training, you will eventually get to an Exumer. While they are extremely expensive, as you can see, extremely expensive, I believe they may be worth a little bit more your time, especially if you're going for that Omega, because you might be able to get to that Omega a lot faster than you will with this. Remember, with this, it takes 7 weeks to get the ship paid for, and while using the bot skills, and you still need to get quite a good amount of ISK to try to pay for that Omega. So yes, it is a little bit problematic because it doesn't allow you to have much room to breathe. You will practically only be mining and mining for large quantities of time. As you can see, 20-hour week has definitely left me a little bit brain fried. But also the bonuses I believe are really nice. 3% is the same as this one, but another bonus 6% strip miner and ice harvester range, meaning you can just warp to the belt, stay a little bit further away because that is a thing I realized. This is a very slow ship. You will warp to a belt, to an asteroid belt, and then you will have to move to the asteroids, which can be a little bit annoying to be honest. You will only lose a few seconds, but if you're mining for 20 hours a week, you are going to feel it. Oh my god, you are going to feel it. And yes, I do recommend you make saves of the belts that you're mining so that you are closer to the belts. However, this wrecks the asteroids. This ship absolutely wrecks the asteroids, so you will deplete them very fast and you will have to move eventually within the belt. You will have to move. There is no way around that. That is something to take under consideration. Of course, these exhumers probably mine a lot faster and a lot harder. That is also a good thing to take under account because this doesn't necessarily mine enough. And this also has some roll bonuses and the Exumer bonuses. So another skill that you get per skill level to all shield resistances, to ice harvester duration, to strip miner duration, to strip miner yield. That is really good. You're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck this way, while it may be a much longer road to be able to get to that Omega and to even be able to think out one of these exhumers for mining. I believe in the long run, if you're going to be playing this game for 10, 20 years, which some players have, I personally haven't, but some players definitely have, I think it's a good goal to take under consideration because it will allow you a little bit more breathing room. I think that is really, really important, especially in a game like this where you're going to lose ships. Eventually, it is going to happen. You're going to get ganked. It happens to everyone. Don't worry. It's just the way of the game. Don't get upset at it. It just happens. It's the way the game is supposed to work because those who make ships are supposed to sell ships, and how can they sell them if you don't lose them? So, yeah, that's a good thing to take under consideration. Now, let's finally go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of this show. Let's start, as always, checking our market because we don't want to undersell. We definitely don't want to undersell. So, for example, we could sell over here 3 jumps away. We have already gotten to this station, but we have 4 million, almost 5 million units. For half a million units, I don't think it's worth it, despite having a better buy price. Or we could put them on sell orders. If you're much more connected to it and you sometimes check it and sometimes don't and check it every couple of hours and stuff like that, I would recommend you to sell them on sell orders so that you can constantly check your sell orders and change them, especially if you're mining nearby and you just check the market every time you're mining. It can be really, really good. But for me, I don't check the market that often. I know I lose a lot of ISK because of that, but that's the way I like to play. I don't like looking at it just because I forget. I am doing something else, and I usually forget. So you may you absolutely should get the most bang for your buck, putting it in sell orders. However, buy orders are the option for me because they will get me the money faster, especially for these videos, for these demonstrations, for you guys, which is what I am interested in. So this one, compressed Veldspar, this is the most we have, 72 million. And let's view market details for the compressed dense Veldspar. Again, 3 jumps away. Now this one goes for not that much more ISK, but 4 million units. That might actually be worth our time. That might actually be worth it. So I'm going to location, set destination, and since it's the exact same spot as the other one, we are actually going to go over there, sell, record that stuff, come back and sell. And with the magic of editing, you will not feel a thing. You will not skip a bit. So let me get really quickly over to that station so that we can really quickly sell all of this or that we have been getting. Again, remember, we got this within 20 hours. Well, a little bit more, 10 minutes or 15 minutes more, just because I wasn't perfectly precise. I was working from home while doing my mining, which means that I wasn't 100% checking it. So you can maximize it a little bit more. Yes, absolutely. You can maximize it a lot more. Yes, absolutely. However, uh, can it go lower than this? Yes, that's a good thing to think about. How can you get lower than this? Let's actually take a quick look into components, materials, raw materials, standard ores. So in high sec, you can get Scrollite, Veldspar, and Plagio. For Plagio class, let's say you're going for compressed rich Plagio class, so you can see it's a lot more expensive. You may think to yourself, ooh, that's worth getting. However, it is a bigger volume, but it doesn't look to be a bigger volume. Well, let me show you. Reach Plagio class, the uncompressed type, which will be the one that you will be getting from the belts, because no, you cannot compress while on the ship if you don't have someone in your fleet that allows for it. So, reach Plagio class, let's see. There you go. More than 3 times the size. Now, is it more than 3 times the price? That's up to you to decide. It would have to be 11 ISK a pop for the Veldspar so that I would consider this to be an equal price. But currently, it is not. Veldspar is just that little bit better. But considering that you get a lot of cubic meters per run and a lot of runs, it eventually does stack up quite a lot. And we actually saw a comparison of that with the ventures. Again, check up the other episodes of the series for that. But we did compare all the high sec ores that you can mine and which ones are actually worth it. If you're mining in something like a venture, it probably translates pretty close to something like this because cubic meters are still cubic meters and ISK is still ISK. Now, for Plagia class, it may not be worth it, so let's check for Scorelight. Compressed massive Scorelight. Now, again, also better price. Astonishing price. 15. That's not bad, not bad at all. Not that much better, but it is still better. Now, for the normal massive Scorelight, whoop, a little bit, half the size more than what it is to get as Veldspar. So this would have to cost twice the amount that Veldspar costs. And you will see concentrated Veldspar is 100 cubic meters. And let's see the market price, 1150, where we're going to be selling it. So as you can see, it is not necessarily for your best interest to go for the most expensive ore because the cubic meters may be different. You are not necessarily going to get the most out of it. What I would recommend to do, well, what I would recommend anyone to do, because the prices here may fluctuate a lot, so it may change on the time that you're watching this video, but for right now, it doesn't really work out the best for the miner. However, if you're unsure about how to do it, what I would recommend you to do is a very quick formula. The amount of ISK, no, sorry, the amount of cubic meters. So, for example, concentrated Velspar is 100 cubic meters. Yes? Divide that by the amount of ISK that you're getting paid for it. So let me make that division really quickly in my phone calculator because I suck with the in-game command. So divided by 11.5, that means 8.69 gigity ISK per cubic meter. ISK over cubic meter. Now, if we go to something like Scorelight, let's go for condensed score. Now, for this one, it is 150 divided between, 12.5, not that much more. Now, let's check with the Plagia class. Now, let's see for 350 divided by 31. Make your calculations. Mine may be wrong. Do them both ways. But eventually, what's going to help you out in the end is to actually go on out there with a venture and actually look at what you're buying, what you're selling, what you're mining, and how much you're getting every time you're selling. That is going to be non biased, that is going to be absolute, that is going to be the best way to actually realize how much money you're making and which one is worth more. Another way to look at it is you're going to take the same amount of time to mine one or the other in the same ship. So how much ISK is in your full cargo hold at the end of the run? That is also going to be a very nice indication for me for Veldspar, mainly concentrated. Veldspar has been in the venture around 500,000, something like that, 600 million, something like that. So again, important to take under consideration. Run your numbers. If you're bad at math like me, don't run them, but instead look at what you will get in your venture straight up, no questions asked, and then look when you sell it, how much of it you're actually getting. When you sell the other one, try different ones. Dedicate a week to each one like I did. I think it's a really nice exercise. And yes, these prices do fluctuate. They will change eventually. Veldspar is not necessarily going to be the most expensive all the time, so do take that under consideration. Now, let's sell this item. As we can see, this is the best buy order for this. We get 16 million from this out of an estimated price of 21 million. Let's see how much we're selling it for. 13 against 15 estimated price, but the estimated price, of course, is fucked because someone is selling it at 16. No one's going to ever buy it at 16, so yeah, our estimated price again came in very, very short of our goal. Let's see, 16.7 million. Let's write that down and sell it. Yes, you can get a little bit more by putting it into sell orders, but as you can see, not a lot more, and in this case, not any more. Interesting. For compressed concentrated Velspar, 12.90. Sell orders for 13.49. This one is actually worth a lot more putting it on as sell orders, but we have a very huge amount. I don't think a lot of people are going to wait for my order to run out before they change the prices of theirs. So do take that under consideration. Let's sell this item for 12.9. Let's sell for 29. Let's see, for 29. You can see zero broker's fee, a little bit of sales tax, and we get 5 million, almost dead 5 million. So I'm just gonna write down 5 million. Let's make that sale. And as you can see, we are recovering a little bit of that ISK that we spent getting on the ship and getting these skills. Now, let's go out again, go over to the Dixie again. Through the magic of editing, we will be back in a second. Now, through the magic of editing, we are at the Dixie. As you can see, this is the fastest ship in the game. No, it's definitely not. Now, let's sell this item. Again, remember, before you sell anything ever, make sure you're selling it for the price you want, the amount you want, and whether or not you want it to be immediate or not. Now, 49.5 million, 49.5 million. Oof, lots of sale taxes. Lots of sales taxes. Ooh, lots of sales taxes. I don't like sales taxes. They are really big annoyance, but since we are alpha, there is not much we can actually do about them. Now, let's add up really quickly all of our millions that we have made. We have actually made less than I expected. Of course, you can min-max this at your leisure. The amount of time that you put into this will be the amount of ISK you actually get from it. And you can set it up and pretty much do rinse and repeat it. Sometimes you will get more, sometimes you will get less, as you will see. That's the thing with buy and sell orders with this stuff. Oh, I actually sold at a low. But that's the way this goes. That's the way it is. And that's something to really do take under consideration. So we made less. We made 71 million ISK, even though I put the estimated price in 90 million ISK. So we would have had to make around 20 million ISK estimated price more, meaning around 5 hours more, which means it brings our total for the paying of the skills, just the skills, it would be around 85, no, sorry, 25-hour mining week, 25 hours to be able to pay for the skills themselves to make this event actually worth what we have been getting out of it and from it. So that taken under consideration, I will leave it up to you to decide whether or not it's actually worth it. If you can dedicate the time to it, I believe it can be worth it because it mines a lot more than a venture. However, if you're unable to dedicate the time to it, it is absolutely not worth it. We are going to move on to some other activities that we could do to pursue that half a billion left that we have to get to be able to end this series. Now, I will be thinking on getting to running abyssals because I really like running abyssals. I have a character entirely dedicated to running abyssals, so I think I'm gonna try to get on board with that once again and try to get you some videos about that, and maybe I will even try to get some videos with this character actually trying to get from the state it is currently at, which is half the amount of skills points that it can train properly, trying to see if we can get it to run some nice abyssals so that we can get that extra 500 million, so that we can get to our 1 billion bucket mark. And as you can see, within 11 episodes, this one doesn't count, but there are 12 episodes, we have been getting to the 500 million ISK. That means 12 weeks to take under consideration. So, as you can see, definitely not an easy path, but I believe it's absolutely worth it. So, I am going to move on to some other things. I will try to do some other videos about other video games before actually moving on to the other side of 0 to Billion series, because I want to take a little bit of a rest of Evaline. Mining all this time so very often has been a little bit drooling for me. I'm not used to it. Some people actually love it. I find it a little bit difficult. But guys, thank you also very much for staying with me. I know this is not necessarily the most engaging content. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed these episodes. I hope my microphone has gotten better from the last episode. I had some problems with it again, but hopefully, this time it will be a lot better. Again, links in the description below, the 1 million free skill points referral link, a few sites that I currently and have always used to help me navigating online a little bit more efficiently. And the feed for this current ship, I will also put down in the description below. Again, I have a Patreon. It's absolutely free. If you want to check it out, I don't upload a lot, but if you want to, it is there. It's where I put up most of the polls that I make, which aren't a lot, but they are some. So if you want to, please do check it out. I'm trying to make a community over there. And guys, thank you also very much for sticking by me, even though I didn't post for a month. I am terribly sorry about that. I really, really, really do appreciate you. This has been an amazing journey. I have really enjoyed making these videos. You guys taught me that I can actually make something worth something with my gaming. It doesn't just have to be a waste of time. Thank you also very much for watching. This has been the Alpha Life, and I will see you all in the next one.